Awez, and today we are watching Saps vs West Gang, Durban's ruthless teenage killers. Now, the thing about Durban, bro, in my opinion, bro, I've heard so much great things about Durban, but at the same time, I've heard a lot of scary things about Durban. A lot of things that, bro, makes me wonder if, like, yo, I don't think I'll ever want to go to Durban. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, Durban is a mixed bag for me. It's a real mixed bag. And I think this video might actually just show us what I mean by, hey, I don't think I want to go there. But let's dollar.
In other news this Wednesday, a News from Africa team experienced firsthand the escalating criminality in Inanda in KZN this morning. Our journalists had to run for their lives after falling prey to unknown men during a live crossing on, ironically, a crime story. They are covering a story of an off-duty police officer who was shot and killed in Inanda just yesterday.
I don't know why they just go to extent of killing us as well. That is what they are doing at the present moment. They are just shoot everybody, even us who are just...
Previously, we witnessed the rise of a teenage gang that took over entire communities, particularly in the north areas of Durban like Inanda, KwaMashu and Uzuma. This is a tale of a teenage gang who aren't just known for their dominance in the streets, but also for their brutality towards cops. These boys have caused havoc and their leader untouchable, but no rain lasts forever. The date was the 30th of January.
But here's the scary thing about South Africa, which you will notice if you ever went to this country or if you live in this country, bro. Like, criminals come in all shapes and form, bro. They come in all shapes and form. There's Okies, proper criminals. They don't even look like criminals, bro. They don't look like they would hurt anybody, and they could have done some crazy things, bro. Like oh, we need to bring back the, we need to bring back hangings. We really need to bring that back. Why is it not back? And they don't look like people that really move like that. And then you, like, it's like, bro, the criminal is here, bro. But let's carry on, bro. Shit.
2025. A covert police operation is underway. The Inanda Task Team and the National Intervention Unit, elite forces in South African policing, had been dispatched. Their mission? To track down a vehicle flagged by intelligence sources. The intelligence had directed them to a car that was traveling along Mhlanga, north of Durban. Inside that car were 3 men, suspected members of Inanda's most feared criminal network, the West Gang. Among them, Ngobi Nzimande, just 22 years old, but already a name whispered in fear. To some, aka his gang, he was known as Hitler. Others referred to him as number 10, simply meaning he was a striker. And with nicknames like those, you can only imagine what crazy acts he was capable of.
Y'all see what I mean, though? Do y'all see what I mean, guys? Do y'all see what I mean? Does this nigga look like somebody that would do crazy things to deserve that name? Does he really look like that type of bro? Does he look like that type of bro? Does he look like that type of guy who deserved that title? Does he? Bruh.
The 2 other suspects were his accomplices. Authorities believe the trio was en route to collect drugs and ammunition. After leaving Mhlanga, the suspects switched vehicles. Was it paranoia, or had they realized they were being followed? Either way, they were cautious, but not cautious enough. That night, police were 2 steps ahead. Officers managed to re-identify the suspects. They tracked them quietly until the car finally came to a stop along Vincent Dickinson Road in Cottonlands. When police approached their vehicle, The response was violent. Gunfire broke out, and just like that,
another shootout in KwaZulu-Natal. This time the area is called Cottonlands, and what you're seeing behind me is that active crime scene. There are two suspects that have been shot dead in a gunfight with police. What's interesting, or very interesting, is the identity of one of those suspects that has been sought for a long time, for months if not years, by police in KwaZulu-Natal, and I'll tell you why. He's the alleged leader of the West Gang, and that's a gang, for people that have been watching the channel or others that are living in this North Durban area, they would know the name very well, because the West Gang has been responsible for terrorizing communities in and around Durban.
the man they called Hitler had met his violent end. It said that Ngobi had ties to over 20 cases, 10 of which were murders. He was also wanted for attempted murder, arson, robbery, and intimidation. His reputation was truly grim at just 22 years of age. He had carved out a legacy.
And those are the ones they could try him on. Those are the ones they could confirm, hey, he might have done it. Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Soaked in fear and bloodshed. That night, his story ended with a bullet on a cold road in Verulam. But that would just be the beginning of what was to come.
The police of Inanda have proved themselves that they are capable.
Yo, hey, dog, you don't know what's going on in South Africa right now. But this member right here, dog, this member came out with the secrets, dog, came up with the sauce. I think I'm going to post a video, a reaction on his story, dog. Yo! It's vying down in South Africa, bro. It's vying down, Joe. Hey. But hey, bro, we're not here for him. We're not here for him.
Of creating a safe environment for the communities there. There's a number of criminals been arrested. Many of them might have passed away during the shootout with the police. But there's been a lot of focus by the provincial office in an area of Inanda policing area.
However, the daily experiences of those enduring extreme violence starkly contrast with the provincial commissioner's statements.
As news spread that his body was coming home, police intelligence warned of potential threats, and the response was extreme. They showed up in the numbers. Before the coffin even arrived, police entered Mzimande's home, demanding his family hand over his guns. One family member recalled saying the police even asked them why they were crying for a dog. But the worst was still to come. When Ngobi's body finally arrived, what should have been? No. What could have been a moment of final peace spiraled into something dark. The police returned and allegedly assaulted attendants and family members. It said they even kicked the goats his uncle was preparing to slaughter for the cleansing ceremony. In the mayhem, the unthinkable happened. Ngobi's lifeless body rolled out of the coffin. The police had
Okay, guys, now this is where a question really we have to ask ourselves as a community, as a people, right? Do people who harassed the community while they were living deserve a peaceful burial and a peaceful ritual? And if you don't know what a ritual is, especially this cleansing ceremony, it's where basically they will slaughter goats, and then they will take those goats' insides and basically cleanse all the bad luck and all the badness that comes with that person's death. And the question is now, we gotta ask ourselves: do those? Because not like these, the family didn't know what this Oki was doing, or chose to be oblivious. So that they knew or they chose not to know any further. And do they deserve that? That's a question that we gotta ask. In my opinion, bro, everybody deserves a good barrel. Everybody deserves a barrel that I guess I wouldn't say respects them, but like a barrel is like, okay, dog. You know what I'm saying? Everyone deserves a barrel. Let me say that, bro. Let me say that because, bro, because it's hard for you to be like, okay, cool. I'm gonna treat you like I'm gonna treat you badly. I'm gonna treat you. I'm gonna ruin your whole barrel. I'm gonna ruin your whole funeral. And then not expect people to do the same for your own funeral, right? Just for courtesy's sake, let us all just respect the dead, in my opinion. Now, I do not live in Durban. I do not experience what these people experienced, right? So maybe I'll be singing a different tune if I experience what they experienced. I'll be honest with you. So, yeah, bro. Comment down below what y'all think.
The police had kicked the coffin over and over until it broke. It was said Ngobi himself used to kick the bodies of his enemies after their final breath. Now the officers had did the same to him. From 7 p.m. until just after midnight, Ngobi's body lay there in the rain uncovered until it was finally removed along what was left of the coffin. No ceremony, no closure, no final goodbye. The NIU shut it down completely. What should have been a quiet farewell became a brutal display of just how deep the wounds Ngobi had created really went. Not just in the community. When I heard of the story, I realized to the policemen it wasn't just another gangster. It was personal. The West Gang were and still are known for their violence even towards police. They aren't afraid of a badge, and they had proven it. In 2023, 2 high-ranking police officers lost their lives to the West. The first hit was in June. Sergeant Yegani Siboniso Tabete, a respected member of the KwaMashu tracking team, was ambushed, disarmed and shot dead using his own service weapon. It was a punch to law enforcement.
Okay, I see the anger. You know what I'm saying? I see the anger. I see why they did it. I may not agree with what they did, but I see why they did it. You know what I'm saying? I see why they did it.
Gut punch to law enforcement, but worse was still to come. Just 2 months later, in October, Warrant Officer Sthembiso Mazibuko of the NIU was fatally shot during a confrontation with alleged West Gang members at a house in Tuzuma. His death followed that of Mbambayi's CPF chairperson Mnagiseni Mngadi, who was gunned down at his home.
I don't know why they just go to extent of killing us as well. That is what they are doing at the present moment. They are just shoot everybody, even us who are just there. Most of our colleagues have just shoot dead. They've been buried recently in few weeks back because of this high rate of criminals taking place at Inanda.
These boys were really brutal. They were making a statement. It didn't matter if you were part of the actual police or just a community member fighting for your area. Everyone got the smoke. But in 2024, the tide began to turn. With the efforts of KZN Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi and the NIU, KZN would be painted in blood. We began to see more and more suspects being killed in shootouts with police, especially in one particular area, Inanda. Criminal syndicates were being picked off like flies, and they certainly wouldn't let the murderers of police off the hook. A coordinated operation was launched. The mission: locate 4 suspects connected to the murder of Sergeant Tabete. The operation led them deep into Inanda, into the Congo area. The suspects had been under police surveillance for a considerable period of time. Upon arriving at their hideout, police encountered the 4 suspects and they got into a shootout. 3 of the suspects fell, while 1 escaped. Police later revealed that these suspects weren't just tied to Sergeant Tabete's death, They were also linked to a double murder in January of 2024 and 2 more killings in the same area, stretching back even further. Each shooting, each name was a stitch in a blood-soaked timeline of revenge, resistance and ruin. The violence didn't end there, not even slightly. The remaining members continued to terrorize the community, and there would be even more bloodshed on both sides.
No lie though, yeah. I see what was going down, bro. In police perspective, bro, if I was an officer, yeah. I was gonna tell my family, I'm not coming back. I'm going to find these O's, bro. They take out one of my boys, one of my ones, and I'm gonna let that go. I can't let that go. I couldn't let that go. We gotta tie up the score, dog. Especially because at that point it's like, bro, I'm trying to do a span. We all trying to do a span. All trying to live and all trying to make our community. Oh shit! See my phone trying to fall now. But it shall come. My phone, like, we're all trying to make money. We're all trying to move, bro. You know what I'm saying? We're all trying to just live life. And you're gonna come out and take out one of the members that I was working with for years, bro. For years, doing long shifts with the O. And you're gonna take him out like that? Nah, bro. I'm sorry, dog. And well said, you're not only doing it to us, you're doing it to the rest of the community. The people I'm supposed to keep safe. Nah, dog. Nah.
For Mnqobi's family, it wasn't easy to bury him. Funeral parlors refused, venues backed out. No one wanted the smoke, not from rival gangs and not from the ghosts he left behind. But not everyone saw him the way the public did. His family denied the claims. To them, Mnqobi wasn't a monster. He was a respectful son, a young man who protected his community. On February 8, 2025, his funeral service, though small, was held in Redfern Community Hall in Phoenix. It was mostly young women who went to the funeral, as police had restricted attendance, fearing an altercation. But that wasn't stopping his gang from showing him love the only way they knew how. Even though members of the gang couldn't attend the funeral because of restrictions and some of them being on the wanted list,
So I don't know, bro. I don't know. Maybe they knew, but they didn't know how bad it was. I don't know, dog. Because, like, some people are really good at hiding their ish. Or painting their ish in a good light. You know what I'm saying? Or some people, too, right, will be like, yes, he robs people, but he didn't rob me. That type of energy.
Some still try to perform a traditional salute. This involves gunfire and sometimes spinning of cars for gangsters. Despite police warnings, the gang members proceeded, and it's safe to say it didn't end well.
Community of Bambai has gathered outside a crime scene here where 3 suspects have been shot dead by police. Now, just over to this side are the bodies of those suspects. One is lying on the other side of this van, while 2 others are inside a house. What's particularly interesting about this is that on this day there is an extended police presence in the area, and that's because of the funeral of a feared gang leader, Mnqobi, who was also shot dead by police just over a week ago in Verulam.
The police action prevented further violence during the funeral, but it didn't end the war. It would only delay it. Just 10 days after this incident,
No lie though, those members want the police's blood now. You take out their leader and 3 of their members? Nah, bro, they want you badly, dog. They definitely want you.
It would start back up again. 2 West gang members would be shot and killed in a shootout with police in Tlungwane Area 1 in Inanda. This made the number of West Gang members killed by police 7 in about a month. But the young boys had vowed they would get their get back for the loss of their leader, and just a few days later, it seems they would. An off-duty police officer, Mvelo Kabashe, was standing with his girlfriend on Emachobeni Road in Inanda when a VW Polo arrived and 2 men got out. They started talking to the officer and his girlfriend. They then reportedly instructed the girl to walk away. Moments later, the officer was shot, his service weapon and cell phone taken. Now it's still unclear whether these were truly West Gang members, but many have suggested it could only be them. And just months later, yet another officer fell in Inanda. On Tuesday night, the 8th of April, Sergeant Sanele Dlamini of the Presidential Protection Service had been off duty and still in uniform when he parked outside a tuck shop at Mafukuzela Drive in Newtown C-section. As he left the store, he was shot at by 5 suspects. The suspects robbed him of his gun and fled, but Sergeant Dlamini didn't go down without a fight. In those final moments, he fired back, injuring one of them. They would flee, but one was bleeding. Desperate, he would be transported to a nearby clinic, dropped off and abandoned. Police traced the scene and alerted healthcare sectors, and just like that, he was arrested. The crackdown by KZN police has driven gang members to scatter, further north into Bamshela, near Apples Bosch, and south into Mlazi, where 4 were killed in another recent shootout, all wanted for murder in you know where. The West Gang isn't shrinking, it's spreading. But in closing, I think I missed a crucial part. In March, a hidden battle had started, an internal one. According to a source, after Nzimande's dramatic funeral, a leadership battle ensued. Many of the members saw themselves as deserving of the position. This battle took another step when there were reports that they were gunning each other down, fighting over positions and ranks. 2 members of the gang were engaged in a gun battle which left both of them dead. The part that hits the hardest is even though they may be extremely violent and feared in all kinds of ways, most of them are still just kids, teenagers. Many still live under their parents' roofs, hooked on drugs that twist their mind. And this is not Netflix. I'm not trying to justify their actions in any way. But with the many crimes we're seeing being committed by younger individuals, it's clear that there's a cycle we seem to be caught in as a nation. This ties back to my initial video that briefly explains how gangsterism seeped into our culture and society. The KZN police continue their pressure, their raids, their relentless pursuit of justice. But this seems like it isn't just crime fighting. And with the way things have been going, it's clear this war isn't over.
Good video, bro. Good video. That was a good video, bro. Oh, that was a good video. But yeah, guys. So much to think about the video, bro. Thank you for watching the video. Like, subscribe, comment, and yeah, man. Till next time, I'm the Lost Owen. Awez.